see, right before we started this, Rob Snyder himself pulled me over backstage back there. And he said, Ryan, I got to ask, I got to put James on the spot real quick. He said, you know, last week, Rob Snyder, as he does, he was making a tour of all the different towns. We came to King of Prussia. And while I was up front, James over here, Mr. Senior Director that promoted in 55 days to Senior Director, put our CEO, Rob Snyder, on the spot, and he put a challenge out there to Rob. You remember that? Why don't you tell everybody what you asked Rob there?
Well, he asked to keep the questions serious during the Q&A, so I kept it as serious as I could. I said, you know, Rob, I have a goal to be executive director very soon. And I was wondering, if I make it by a certain day, will you come pick me up in the airplane and take me for a ride?
Now, remember, this is in front of an entire business presentation where he's asking these questions. Now, James, what Rob asked me, he said, you talk big. Are you going to produce?
Absolutely. I'm going to do it.
And what's your date?
My real date? September 1st.
Executive Director, and are you going to hold Rob to his promise?
Absolutely.
Guys, that is absolutely awesome. Rob, you heard it firsthand wherever you are. Now, guys, let's jump back into this. Guys, we are so excited to be here. I can't even believe the energy that we've seen on here. James, what do you think about this crowd?
I think it's unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought 6 or 7 months ago that I would be standing in front of thousands of people in Atlanta, Georgia, sharing this amazing opportunity with everybody. It's unbelievable.
You know, this opportunity is absolutely fantastic, and we've done so many things, not just financially, but so many rewards that have come with this business. And James, I think last Wednesday, you had a pretty life-changing event happen. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, before we jump into that and get into this life-changing event that's pretty awesome due to Ignite, I want to back up a little bit and talk about how we got here. You see, my name's Ryan Morris. I'm from Austin, Texas. And for 3 years, I was a personal banker. I met every single goal they ever set for me for 3 years, and I can document that. And in 3 years, I got a 3% raise. Now, how many of you can identify with doing everything they ask you to do and not get the income to go with it? I was very frustrated with that. But you see, I believe very strongly that everything happens for a reason. And blessings come in many disguises, because I did not get that promotion. I begged them to move me to brokerage or commercial department. And what happened was, is my mom, Executive Director Martha Troy, joined this business, and everything she touches always turns to gold. And she's had passive income coming in ever since I was little, and I'm so thankful for her vision, because when my parents divorced, she was able to stay home with my sister and I with her passive income through rent houses and raise us at home. And when she saw this business, she said, Ryan, this is the golden goose, and I'm signing up with or without you. And in 18 months, she went to Executive Director. And that is what put my belief in place. And I said, Mom, you got my attention. So I started doing what she was doing, and I plugged into the system, and she said, Ryan, I'm not going to do it for you, but I will show you how to do it. And within 2 years, my part-time Ignite business entirely replaced my full-time bank salary. 6 months later, it doubled my full-time bank salary. And at the age of 28 years old, I walked away from the corporate business and I'm 100% Ignite. Now guys, what I was not expecting about this was I started in Austin, Texas, and I said, you know, if I could make a few extra dollars, this would be great. But it jumped from Austin to Fort Worth to Dallas to Houston to Corpus Christi to the great state of Georgia, to Atlanta to Savannah. But when we hit Pennsylvania, I said, you know, I don't know anyone in Pennsylvania. I don't really know how this is going to work. But thankfully, back in Austin, Texas, where I started this, which is a city that is not deregulated, one of my very good friends, one of the first people I sponsored, actually sponsored one person in Pennsylvania. And that one person started having weekly meetings, and I was helping out. And one of those weekly meetings, I look over, and in the back chair, in the back corner, there's this little spiky-haired punk kid sitting there with his arms crossed and his legs up, staring at the ceiling. And James, I believe that's where you come in.
In case you don't understand that, I was the spiky-haired punk kid, miserable. Why am I here staring at the ceiling with my arms folded? Well, and you know what? There's a different side to it, because when I walked in, I said, who's this Yahoo from Texas with a high, crazy voice with cowboy boots in Pennsylvania? Who does that, right? Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but a little bit about my background. I'm in the car industry. I'm actually called a car wholesaler. Now, to explain that, I'm not a new car dealer, I'm not a used car dealer. What I do is if you trade a Chevy in at a Mercedes store, they don't want the Chevy, they just want the Mercedes, right? So I buy the Chevy. I buy and sell every car from all the local dealerships. I buy and sell anywhere from 80 to 100 cars a week. And it sounds great, glamorous, right? I can buy 100 cars a week. Well, you know what that really means is that I work 80 to 100 hours a week. And how did I get involved with Ignite? Well, we'll go back to a miserable, cold, rainy day in November. My brother Chris called me when I was in the middle of looking at about 40 cars, and I wasn't really in a good mood, to be honest with you. And he called me and he said, he sounded like he just won the lottery. He sounded like he just won the $100 million in the lottery. He said, I just came from this meeting. It's amazing. There's this new energy thing coming to Pennsylvania, and there's a guy that makes $500 million a month, and we're going to buy an island together, and we're going to buy helicopters and just retire. And I said, what are you on? I said, what are you talking about, right? So I said, listen, you own a construction company, and I'm a car dealer. You're nuts. Leave me alone. I don't have time for this. Call me later. So he did. He called me an hour later. And then he called me 2 hours later, and 4 hours, and 6 hours. And then the next day, and the next week. And it took 2 weeks, finally, of him bugging me. Like my own brother, I was ready to stop answering his phone calls. So I said, he said, I'll stop bugging you when you come and see what I'm talking about. So I said, okay. So he drags me an hour from my house. I mean, an hour away, and that was the night that I met this guy. Walk into the meeting, you know, why am I here? I sat in the back, I just sat like this. I said, let's just get this over with because I'm tired from working all day and let me get home. So there's a bunch of people sitting in the room and they pop in this DVD, right? And Steve Fisher, wherever you are, I apologize, I didn't even watch it. So I sat there and stared at the ceiling, and after the meeting, my brother, we're in the driveway talking, and he said, what do you think? What do you think? I said, it's awesome. Have fun with it. I'm going back to the car business, right? So the next day he called me and said, come on, come on. So the next day, the next week, the next 2 weeks, finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is $2.99 to sign up for Ignite. I handed him $500 in cash to leave me alone. So then Aaron said, no, I don't want. I said, come on, do this. So finally, I said, you know what, you're my brother, I love you, I'll do anything for you. If this makes you happy, I'm in, okay? So he said, I said, now what I do? He said, go out and get a couple customers. I said, okay. So I got a couple customers. And then that's it. I did my 4 and 24, I think we talked about, right? So I did that. The next day I went back to my car business. Well, a week and a half later, I got an envelope in my mailbox from this Ignite company. And inside there was a check. So I called my brother. I said, that Ignite company sent me a check. He's like, I said, is this for real? Is this for real? He said, well, go cash it. So I did, and it cashed, which is awesome, right? So you know what? And then I realized exactly what it was and what we were doing, and I said, this is unbelievable. My belief shot right through the roof, just like mine back in the day. I said, you know what? I'm in. Let's do this. Let's work. Let's get to work. So, past 6, 7 months have been amazing in my life, and family is number one to me in my life. My family is number one. There's 6 kids in my family. My parents are so happy married. We're actually the real live Brady Bunch. There's 3 boys and 3 girls. Well, I'm so happy to say that every one of my family members is an associate with Ignite. No problem. My brother's a senior director. My sister-in-law is a senior director. My dad is this close to senior director in my senior director code, which is great. And I'm a senior director. And you know what? The thing I love about this whole business is you can work with your family, and that is just awesome. That is awesome.
You know, James, I mean, that is just, your story is absolutely incredible, and I love the fact that you're working with your family. But you know, I think that catches up pretty much to today, right? Why don't you go ahead and share with them what you did last Wednesday?
You think they want to hear it?
I bet that
you guys want to hear it? All right, well, I've watched the track record of this company in the past 4 states, and I saw what they did. And every time I hear Rob Schneider talk, I just get goosebumps with expansion and what's going to happen in the future. So I'm so happy, I'm going to say that this Wednesday, 3 days ago, was my last day in the car business. I'm 100% Ignite. Don't clap for me. Clap when you're 100% Ignite. Okay? But it's not about me, guys. It's about you. Okay? It's about everybody in this audience here.
James, that is such a powerful point, guys. It's one of the reasons James promoted so fast is he put his team in front of him. And he says it's not about us, it's about you. That is absolutely 100% right. And we're so excited and thrilled to be here today. You know, one of the things that you mentioned a minute ago, you said you're a family business. You see, in our family, my mom's an executive director, I'm an executive director, my sister's a managing director, my dad's a managing director, and my stepfather is a senior director under my dad. So we built as a family also, but guys, here's the fun part about this. We all build as a family, we all get paid, but guys, here's our point. story. And our story, we only tell you our stories to be a vehicle to tell you this. We started in Texas. When I started at the very beginning, I sat in Austin, Texas, a city that is not deregulated, and we built locally. We talked to our friends and our family first. It exploded in Austin, which moved to Texas, which jumped to Georgia, which jumped to Pennsylvania. And James, I think you had a little similar situation.
I did actually. Like Ryan just said, friends and family, that's who we start with, right? We help them out the most. So we started with friends and family in a little house meeting, okay? A week or two later, we outgrew the house, so we had to go to Pizzeria Uno or something like that. We're in the back room. 3 weeks later, we exploded at Uno, and we were running the Sheraton on Sunday afternoons with like 200 people in the room. Absolutely amazing. You know what? My team in Pennsylvania, our team in Pennsylvania is, I love them. They're rocking right now. When we launched Maryland, I said, I don't know anybody in Maryland that would want to do this. So one girl on my team knew somebody in Maryland. So
my name is Charlene.
We called her, and we went down there, and she was so excited about this plan. So we went down there, she signed up, she exploded in Maryland, okay? And they're rocking too. But you know what? It's not about me, it's not about Ryan, it's about y'all. I can say y'all here in Georgia, right? It's about y'all here. The message we're trying to give you guys today is take action now in Georgia, in your own backyard, and just set yourself up for financial freedom, right?
Right.
Financial freedom is the name of the game, but we figured out a long time ago, simplicity makes this work. So we came up with a little thing, guys, we learned it along the way. It's very easy to remember, and we're going to see if you guys want to learn it with us. It goes like this: build locally and grow globally. Guys, we're going to start off on this side. You with me? Build locally and grow globally. Everybody together. Everybody.
Build locally and grow globally.
Awesome.
Guys, my name is Ryan Morris, and I Ignite.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Levins, and I Ignite.
Managing Directors of Field Development, that's a hard title to say, Mr. Robert Wilson and Mr. Ed Allred.
Ladies and gentlemen, please clap and give it up for these managing directors.